Before we jump into this, I just wanted to remind everyone that we do not know any of the people that we are discussing. We are watching, commenting, and reacting for entertainment as entertainment. Although some of the subjects that we are discussing are serious, at the end of the day, we are reacting to YouTubers making videos back and forth as if it is 2019. This is like our version of reality TV, and as a viewer, we eat this up. We also don't have any negative feelings towards anyone, although we don't agree with the way that Rosanna handled this situation. This is all in good fun. This episode was recorded before Rosanna responded to any of the backlash.
Rosanna, you are the problem.
Yes.
In summation, before we do jump into the story, I want to give Rosanna's backstory.
Okay.
It's not super long.
The first I ever saw of her was the games that she did with Mr. Beast,
Yeah.
like whatever. That was the first thing I ever saw of her. I did not know who she was before Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
So,
well, if you don't know what we're talking about, Rosanna Pansino has created an 1.5 hour long podcast calling Tana Mongeau a liar in regards to all the Joey Graceffa drama. And
she wasn't even involved.
I know. And last week, we literally said, I'm pretty sure all that drama is now wrapped up. Jill literally said that I think that Tana got what she wanted out of just speaking out about it, and I think it all went really well.
It did not go really well with Rosanna. Tana talking about it on Canceled got the job done.
I think you're right. I think that the episode that she put out about it kind of like got the whole point across. I would be really surprised if it continues another week in the headlines.
Yeah, it shouldn't, for sure. Because I think that it's squashed now.
It actually got so much worse, and Trisha is crying on YouTube in 2025.
Oh, no.
I mean, it's crazy. So here is a mini deep dive on who Rosanna Pansino is, in case you don't know and you're like us. I didn't really know anything about her, like Jill said as well, like until the Beast Game stuff came out. And we were like, honestly, I don't even think I would have found it if we weren't doing this podcast. She started YouTube in 2011 with a baking show called Nerdy Nummies. It still is going on and does really well. But she was actually on Scream Queens, the Saw movie, one of the Saw movies, CSI, Glee, Star Trek.
What? I'm confused because I've literally seen like all of these things that you've mentioned, and I do not recall her.
She's never had a breakout role, but she's been there. Like, she's one of those people that are just, she's been around.
Kind of like Trisha Paytas, where it's like a passing by kind of thing. Okay.
Exactly. She was even a guest on Disney's Bizaardvark with Jake Paul and Olivia Rodrigo.
Okay.
Crazy. And she later, on her IMDb, you will see that in 2018 to 2019, she was on Joey Graceffa's Escape the Night.
Okay.
She is now known in our corner of the internet for her hatred of Mr. Beast.
Mm-hmm.
She actually reported Jimmy to the FBI.
No.
And
Okay. No, this bitch needs to get a handle on things, because what?
I know. I knew that, like, she had created videos, but when I saw a tweet from her that reads, this girl, like, that's why I wanted to give this backstory, because, like, it makes all this so much funnier. I have reported what I found and my concerns to the authorities at FBI. Hopefully, they will look into these Mr. Beast Telegram company chat logs and other concerns. This story is going in a direction you don't expect it to. So,
What chat logs is she talking about?
she's referring to the Reddit threads and the forums with Ava Chris Tyson.
Okay.
Okay. Rosanna Pansino took to YouTube to share her findings with her fans in a 20-minute video titled Mr. Beast Knew All Along 1,000 Leaked Messages. In the detailed snippet, she claimed to have found over 1,000 leaked messages that suggested that Mr. Beast was always aware of Chris Tyson. I say that backwards every time. Chris Tyson's unethical behavior. The information Pansino showcased highlights chats covering various contentious topics such as cannibalism, sexuality, and shortly after exposing Mr. Beast on the internet, she announced on Twitter that she had reported the most subscribed YouTuber to the FBI in the tweet that I just read. Reporting someone to the FBI, creating an expose video, two kind of different things.
Yeah.
But then posting on Twitter that someone, that you did it is also like, okay, you're announcing that you're doing it for clout, obviously.
Yeah. She's trying to flex for something that, like, you shouldn't, like, it's not a flex, you know?
But why did she take it so personally that she, right, exposed him to the FBI and she was the one to let him know?
She's acting like exposing him to the FBI is a flex. And to that I say, Rosanna, it's not. And maybe a flex would be if you were the most subscribed YouTube channel.
Yes. So this is the part of the story where I was like, I'm missing something. What, like, why does she care? While researching and digging more into this, I found the following Reddit post. This is a response of someone in the Mr. Beast Snark Reddit, like, explaining the backstory. It's not super long. There is indeed a past between Mr. Beast and Rosanna Pansino, which is largely harmless YouTube drama, but the recent development is much more serious. Pansino made a video where she claimed to have come into possession of chat logs from a Telegram group in which Mr. Beast and members of his team had shared child sexual exploitation materials. One of the images in question being a nude image of 13-year-old Ivanka Trump. She claimed to have passed on this information to the FBI. That is supposedly why she called the FBI.
Okay, is this true? Do we know that this is true?
There are multiple sources saying that it's true. But
Okay.
because it's a minor, they're going to keep that information protected.
Okay.
Many people have praised Pansino for this, but problems have arisen over how she chose to do it. The correct thing to do after forwarding it to the FBI, and by correct, I mean legal, would be to delete all copies of it. Unfortunately, Pansino instead edited the images to partially censor them, then featured them in the video she posted to YouTube calling out Mr. Beast on the issue. This is bad.
This was never about, like, getting someone for their wrongdoings.
No.
This was about clout. She
Yeah.
wanted to go after the most subscribed YouTube. She was feeling a little bad that her channel from 2011, most people, the hungry nummies, nobody ever heard of before. And she's like, you know what? This could be my claim to fame.
Yeah.
Ivanka Trump and Mr. Beast. Hell yeah.
Jill is hot.
She gets on my nerves.
I am not a fan. There's just more sources saying that the Ivanka Trump rumor is potentially true.
Which, if that's true, that's like, that is not good. Like,
Right.
not defending that. But I'm just saying.
What's the difference between that and Rosanna having the stuff, using it for clout, tweeting, like, it's like giving money to a homeless person and posting on Twitter that you did it.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, okay, for what?
Yeah. It's giving, I want recognition. Somebody please notice me. I've been here since 2011.
Yeah. This still doesn't make sense why Rosanna hates him. In 2021, Rosanna Pansino took part in Mr. Beast's extreme $1 million hide and seek.
This was the first thing I ever heard of her.
Okay, this is what it stems from. It's a challenge alleging that despite being a top 3 contender, Mr. Beast manipulated the results to favor other creators. She voiced concerns and sexism and inauthenticity on Twitter and in podcasts. After a wave of death threats, she deleted her tweets and issued an apology to Mr. Beast for addressing the matter publicly, though notably she's never retracted her allegations.
This whole story, again, was just her being dramatic and wanting clout and wanting to talk about Mr. Beast and, like, get viewership off of his back. Because literally she's like, he edited it to make it look like I got out later than I did. It's like, bitch, you didn't win anyways. You literally, like, got out, 3rd, and he edited you to be out 4th or 5th. Like, woo, big deal.
The one thing about her experience that I'll, like, back, even though she doesn't back Tana, there were scenarios where she might have felt uncomfortable on set because of an environment. There might have just been some I'm not going to look into it further. I don't need to know. I think there might have been some scenarios where she felt uncomfortable. I think that's what Trisha was referencing in her reaction to Rosanna Pansino when she was like, you know, we stood behind you.
So then
when
how
that happened.
hypocritical to be where we are now
Yes.
if that supposedly happened to you.
That's pretty much the summary. Rosanna has now launched her podcast, Ridiculous, or whatever it's called, which is where she needed to issue an emergency statement 3 weeks after the drama has subsided.
Yeah. Did anybody ask for this? Probably not. This emergency statement, did anybody ask for this from Rosanna, who was not involved whatsoever?
You know what? It's so weird that I wonder if Joey asked her to say something. Why do you care about the way that people are perceiving Joey Graceffa's drama? Why are you so...
Literally.
Joey even said in his statement on Just Trish that he handled it offline.
Give Just Trish an exclusive statement in response to Tana. He said, I sent Tana a text. I don't see why she can't handle things offline. I apologize to her for how I talked about it on the pod, though, and I was just being playful. I think Tana's been hurt by a lot of people and put me in the same boat of people who have wronged her with people with bad intentions, but I genuinely feel bad and was shocked by her reaction, and I instantly texted her. We also handled it on set, and he said he's going to send her flowers. So I hope all's well that ends well.
He didn't want to handle it online. That was the one thing that he said consistently. He was like, Tana, I don't know why she has to do this online. There's no way Joey asked her to do that. But then again, someone gave Rosanna permission to show that video clip at the end of her episode. Did you watch it all the way to the end?
Like with her in the handcuffs or whatever?
Yeah, she said, I got permission from someone. Who else do you think she got permission from?
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously coming from Joey.
But maybe she didn't spill the whole tea of what she was doing. She was probably just saying, hey, I'm just gonna make a video and just show real quick what it was like in that freezer.
That's true. I can't imagine Joey having been upset at the way that it blew up with Tana talking about it, and now Rosanna is stirring it up even more. Trisha is crying. I can't believe it. Fire was out last week.
It was squashed. It was done. Rosanna is crazy.
Yeah, I agree.
You're a hypocrite. You're a clout goblin. You're crazy.
I made some notes, I guess just watching it, because I knew the video is an hour and a half long and I wasn't gonna remember everything that they talked about. One thought I had was just can you imagine being on a vacation? You get out of the shower, you wrap your hair up in a towel, and then you sit down to analyze every word spoken on the canceled podcast. And then some man's there who's just there to be well, if you choose to hate half of the population, that's a choice. And he's just mad because Tana said she wanted death to all men, as if she was serious.
Literally, they can't take a joke.
I don't hate all of a gender.
They can't take a joke.
We hate on Tana on this podcast.
Yeah, no, we do.
We do it from the place, just like we hate on Trisha.
Yeah.
We are fans of them first.
Literally, it's out of, it sounds crazy, but it's out of love. We watch them and we like them. We just have critiques sometimes as their parasocial BFFs.
Yeah, we look at them as our friends. They don't know who we are. Mm-hmm. So we sit on this couch and this is our room to talk about them. Because there's nowhere else for people understand, but the people that are watching, y'all get it.
Yeah.
I know that y'all get that. So we hate on her in a way, but we are, at the end of the day, we are fans of her. We consume every piece of content that she makes.
Yeah.
And hearing someone else hate on her from such an angry place, and I even tried really, really hard to see Rosanna's perspective on it and why she's upset. It bothered me so bad to hear someone saying these things about Tana and just nitpicking every little thing that she said. We can hate on Tana because we love her, and at the end of the day, we're not actually saying anything to discount her experiences because of her past or anything like that. But I will not stand. I will not stand for someone else taking our girl down.
It's whenever you're you have a sibling or something and you're I can bully them, but nobody else can.
Yes.
It's that's how it is.
That's how it feels. Starting off, Rosanna to act like Tana Mongeau needs to use your name for a hot topic.
I feel like she just kind of used your name to essentially have a piece of content. And I think they were even saying in a recent podcast that drama is slow right now. So
Business is slow, so just run me over.
yeah.
Tana could fart, and we would make a podcast episode about it.
Yeah, and literally the first episode ever that Tana talked about it, she didn't even say Rosanna's name. She didn't say Escape the Night, Joey Graceffa, Rosanna.
Yes.
She didn't say anybody's name, so she was not using your name, Rosanna, for clout.
And I didn't even know what YouTuber she was talking about smoking her dad. I had no
Me
idea.
neither.
And someone, I forget whose reaction I was watching, but someone was Brooke probably didn't even know that she was talking about Rosanna whenever she was and what did she have to say about that? Because Rosanna obviously hates Brooke. And like,
She's like, Brooke hates me. Brooke hates me so much. Look at her face. Look at her scowl.
yeah.
Time Brooke mentions Ro, you can tell
Her face just scowls.
just
Her
how
face
much hatred is there.
Look
for
at her
Ro.
face. And so right here in this clip, she goes, "Isn't that illegal?"
I can't believe she had a moment of clarity in the shower before recording this podcast. Like taking a
Like to
shower.
where she thought she was.
Like, she thought she ate.
She was in the shower and she was like, oh my God, when I get out, we have to film this immediately. Like, no drying our hair, no doing, I'm still in my robe. I'm not even putting on clothes. I have to do this.
Dumb.
Next week, we're recording a podcast episode in a hotel. And we're going to have our bathrobes and our towels on our head. And, like, we were already planning to do this, but now we're going to look like we're doing, like, Rosanna Pansino cosplay. Before I got into the whole episode, I had just written the reference that I remember Tana making about Rosanna was that she felt like someone like Rosanna wouldn't be so direct to address the uncomfortable comment on set, like head on like she did, which like I get a little bit. Like, you don't want her to think Rosanna took that as like Tana calling her weak, but I also read comments that said this and I kind of thought this. I think that she meant more that people would care if it happened to Rosanna. And people were like, oh, that's just Tana.
What if that happened? Like, it's just, what if that happened to someone who didn't say what the did you just say?
They said, "What if that happened to Rosanna Pansino?" And then, ready for this?
Like, what if that happened? Like, it's just, what if that happened to someone who didn't say what the did you just say?
So she's saying, "What if it happened to me and I wouldn't stand up for myself?"
But Rosanna wanted to take it personal.
Yeah.
You know, like everything in Tana's video.
Yeah.
Like she just wanted to be hurt.
So in the beginning of Tana's video, and we can insert it here.
Like at 9:30 in the morning, I'm standing there like fully ready, like in a fucking gown. And I'm having a YouTuber tell me that their parent just passed away and they turned their ashes into marijuana and then they smoked their parent. And I'm like, it's 9:30 in the morning and I'm downtown and this YouTuber is telling me about how they smoked their dead parent.
Whenever it first starts off, lays out the story, and she's like, I'm in downtown LA at 9 a.m. And this YouTuber starts telling me how she's smoking her dead dad. What do you think? Like, that is the one thing that I'm like, she was being overdramatic, but she's also a story time person on a podcast with her girlfriends.
And also, I don't know for sure, but like Rosanna probably thought like I could see a world where Rosanna thought it was funny to word it in that way.
Like,
you know,
like trying to be a quirky girl.
yeah.
I thought that too.
Being
I
like,
was
just
like,
smoking my dead dad, hee hee.
and she was so offended that she thought Trisha and Tana like judged her for it. And I don't think they ever judged her for it.
No.
I think that Rosanna, when she told the story, thought she was being quirky and cute. And like, yes, she was honoring her dead father's wishes. But I think that she thought she was being quirky and cute. And it's like you could say we're sitting here in the living room recording a podcast, or you could say we're two delusional girls talking into an abyss, hoping that somebody out there hears us and understands us because we want to be podcasters one day. Both things are true, but like that's a more interesting statement than us sitting here talking to nobody.
Yeah.
Ugh, it just, them nitpicking that stuff
I
was
know.
grinding my gears. And Tana saying she can't believe something happened to her. And Mike literally stopped the podcast and was like, that's a weird way to start a story.
I just fucking hate men and I cannot believe this happened to me. Like, so I'm going to tell it.
I don't know. That seems a weird way to start a story for me.
I want to slap that man. I
Yeah.
don't know anything
Like,
about him.
You're literally, first of all, Rosanna has nothing to do with this. And then second of all, you really have nothing to do with this. Nobody even knows who you are. Go away.
Yeah.
Go somewhere.
Yeah, literally.
Death to men. All of them.
That whole experience is tainted for Tana in her brain. And so if she's going to look back on it, she might look at it differently. She might tell the story differently than you remember it. And like, she has a negative perception of it. So it's just like,
Yeah. And also, like, Tana being in a bad mood, it's like everybody has those days.
Yeah.
Hannah Montana. But two, like, maybe Tana wasn't in a bad mood and like people just have RBF, you know? Like, maybe that's her case. Maybe she was just sitting on her phone or whatever doing her thing and you just wanted to think that she was pissed off. Like,
so she also said that Tana did, this is funny to me, Tana did the least amount of work out of anyone. And the funny part is that this is probably the most people have ever spoken about Escape the Night.
Dumb.
Let that sink in before we like try to pull Tana's name into a headline and like act like we need Rosanna's name involved too to make it make sense.
Yeah, the math ain't math in Rosanna.
No.
It's just not.
So they just continue to like nitpick every part of her story. Tana did bring up, like we said, like Rosanna smoking her dad. She never said her name, and I would have never known it was about her.
But also another thing is, after Tana told this story about, without naming Rosanna, about saying that someone said they were smoking their dad, Rosanna puts out her stupid ass podcast smoking her dad. It's like, yeah, you wanted everyone to find out. You wanted everyone to know that that's who Tana was talking about because you want the clout, you freaking clout goblin.
Why did she text Trisha? And why did she tell Tana on set if it wasn't a piece of entertainment? Like,
yeah,
I get, like, maybe she didn't want people to think she was crazy for doing that. I understand, like, letting your mom and your family know, like, I'm going to use this title for clickbait. Like, I'm not actually, like, whatever.
Or, like, if you were going to have a problem with it, like, yeah, you can say, like, yeah, I said that I was smoking my dad. Really, like, the way that we did it, it's not as ashes, it's this. You know, like, we grew it with the, like, in the soil and whatever. And, like, then just go on with your day. But, like, don't be all upset about it if you first said it as if it was like an entertainment factor, you know?
This is Alyssa coming to you live from the editing room. I did not realize at the time of recording this podcast the title of Rosanna Pansino's first podcast episode, Ridiculous, literally being titled Smoking My Dead Dad.
Exactly. And I think that's the way that it was shared from the beginning. And I think that's why Tana felt comfortable. But that's the part of the story that Rosanna and Mike aren't telling. I really don't like him.
Me neither.
Everyone has talked really positively about him and been like, I didn't see him acting like this. This is coming out of left field. And I'm like, well, I can't see him any other way. So get him away from me.
Him taking her jokingly saying that, like, all men deserve death, seriously, is giving boomer humor.
Now she wants to kill all men.
On Facebook, when your aunt, you post like a meme that's supposed to be funny, and they're like, well, actually, like, you know, that's like what it's giving.
Why are you telling people if you're going to just like put it up? If it's that meaningful, why do you care what they think?
Yeah.
And like, I do think it was like a beautiful thing. And I don't think anyone ever said anything negative about it. I think Tana just
saying
told
it's
the
a
story.
wild story. Like, yeah, and it is. I've never met someone who smoked their parent before, you know?
Yeah,
like,
and the circumstance is funny. Tana Mongeau is in a ball gown at 9 a.m. in downtown LA. And some YouTuber did just say that she smoked her dead dad.
Yeah.
She has said nothing that's inaccurate yet.
No.
It's funny.
Yeah. And I don't think Tana was even, like, she wasn't even meaning it negative, but Rosanna just wants to be hurt all the time.
Yeah.
That's literally her whole vibe with Mr. Beast, with this, just everything I've seen of her is she wants to be offended.
Yeah.
So, I hope don't die. I'll have to smoke Alyssa.
Why do Rosanna and Mike give the same energy as our TikTok comments?
Dumb.
What a fun little group of people. Kill all men.
I didn't know this was so miserable.
I can't stand people that will just comment like, you must be really miserable. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm actually having a good
It's
time.
like, girl, you're on vacation. You
Yeah.
just got out of the shower in like Bora Bora or something and feel like sitting down to make a video on this. So
Bizarre. Just thinking about the fact that this is a video of a woman telling a story where she was made to feel uncomfortable in a sexually scary way. And the idea of them sitting there discrediting her based on the dramatizations of whether or not there were women on set. It's just like, it's just unnecessary and it's completely pointless. The way that Mike and Rosanna were talking about this set of Escape the Night as if it was like the most official thing and like you should come there and you should be professional and you should not complain. I have spent time in the warehouses in downtown LA where people shoot stuff. I will say, like, those buildings are kind of scary because they're all really, really old, even though they've been remodeled and they have like these like sets in different corners of them. I don't know exactly what building they were in, but like they're all dungeony looking because they're these huge warehouse type rooms that are made to be able to be constructed into whatever you want it to look like. And that one was designed to look like a meat freezer.
Yeah.
If you were alone in a room with a strange older man that might repulse you a little bit, and he said something to you, you would be freaked out. And it might even change and alter the way you perceive the entirety of the day.
Trisha talking about it, saying that Rosanna was judging, saying that they were being like uppity or whatever about not wanting to go to downtown LA. Trisha has to come out because Rosanna makes this freaking thing acting that way. Trisha has to come out and say, no, it's because like I fear for my safety because I've had 3 sexual assaults there. And it's just like, come on, Rosanna.
Yeah.
You know?
Whenever I was there, I stayed in downtown like a majority of the time. Like I actually like slept there at night. And I wouldn't even get out of my Uber because the door that I had to go into where I was staying, there was like a doorman or someone had to buzz you in from up top. And I wouldn't even I would tip the Uber guy extra money to sit there with me because I would not get out of the car until the doorman was at the door to open the door for me, or I knew that it was unlocked for me to get in. Because even though I'm talking like a sidewalk's distance, I wouldn't walk from my car to the door without absolutely not.
No.
I hated it.
Rosanna thinks that you're prissy and uppity, so
Maybe I'm just a woman alone.
yeah.
Moses commented on how Rosanna and Mike basically just like dissected every aspect of what Tana said on a podcast for entertainment until the interaction happened when they tried to play it off like, well, we believe her that happened. But we don't believe anything else that she said, and she's lying about everything else.
Yeah.
The over-exaggeration about Escape the Night and the falsehoods that she has repeated it time and time
And
and
it's
time
like, when
again.
does exaggeration become lying? And I think you'll see...
It tip.
Yeah, to me, it comes off as lying, but I think Tana does have a history of both exaggerating, but also making up things that didn't happen and getting called out for it.
It's like they're completely trying to discredit a woman who is saying something happened to her, and then trying to also play the card of being like, well, we believe women, we stand with women. And it's like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have made this video. That's the point of all of it, that I was like, y'all are so stupid.
Dumb.
She could have addressed the things that Tana did that could have been perceived as attacking her. Like, sure, at least they were somewhat about her. But instead, they chose to choose everything that she said.
Yeah. And literally, like how I said, Rosanna's not even involved in this. So, like, if she wanted to just respond about getting upset that Tana said that she was smoking her dead dad, like, if you wanted to be upset about that and just post something about that part, then, like, whatever, at least you're involved. You know what I mean? But literally everything else has nothing to do with you. Nobody asked for your opinion.
A part of me wonders, did Joey ask her to speak out? Because, like, I know he was ready for this drama to go away. I know he was.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he would have made it more of a thing whenever he even settled it with Tana offline. That's the stuff that I'm like, no, I think Rosanna's completely like on her own with this, and I think it's weird. The show hasn't even came out yet.
Yeah, and it's being talked about, and I'm sure now people are going to want to watch it.
I'm so curious to see.
I was never going to watch Escape the Night, but, like, now...
All I can think is, when they're telling the story, is they said it's like a bunch of people, they're playing tag. They're not actually, like, hurting each other. Like, obviously they're not actually doing anything, they're all acting, but, like, is it like a scary movie but like with tag, like a bunch of adults playing tag?
I think it's like a horror reality show. Like, it's like you get evicted or like you get sent home, but really, like, when that happens, you're supposedly like getting murdered. All the years of people talking about Escape the Night, what I've gathered and what I think it is, but I've never watched it. So
someone needs to make one of those videos like, I watched Escape the Night so you don't have to, and then send it to us. Trisha was also saying that Rosanna started this entire thing with Mr. Beast because she was treated badly as a woman by Mr. Beast. And then when it happened to Tana, she isn't standing behind her, and she's just critiquing everything that she's saying.
Imagine how if Rosanna, when she said that something happened to her on the set of Mr. Beast, if everybody was literally taking her video and nitpicking every little thing she said and be like, no, that didn't happen actually. Instead of moving to the right when the guy did something, she actually moved to the left. So like she's lying.
And then showed a video clip of like behind the scenes to completely discredit everything that a woman that Rosanna is saying. Like
literally, she would be livid. She would be like making 5 million YouTube videos, 600 podcast episodes about it, and now she's literally doing it to Tana.
We don't have a following, and it's not that like our words don't affect people the same way, but like we don't have a platform. We could say anything about anyone, and the odds are none of them are going to hear it unless we happen to blow up, and if so, I apologize. Rosanna is already like bigger, so I'm like, what were you thinking putting this out?
Yeah.
What man in his right mind is sitting beside you going, that's a good idea. Let's take her down.
Yeah.
Rosanna, you should like address the stuff that she did to you.
Mm-hmm.
The
address
other stuff,
the part about smoking your dad. Leave everything else.
like maybe like don't over dramatize that. Don't make me look like I'm smoking my dad because I didn't, even though you literally named your YouTube video to make people think that you did. She clocked Rosanna by saying that she was friends with Colleen for 10 years. And Trisha was like, should we think that you did the same things that Colleen did because y'all were friends for 10 years?
Yeah.
It's the same like mentality to give someone. So I was like, go Trisha.
Yeah.
Go
we
off.
love Trisha clocking people.
Really appreciate Trisha being so like straightforward with the way that she addressed it, because if she wouldn't have said anything, it would have eaten me alive.
Oh yeah,
Like,
we would have been talking about it right here.
yeah, I know. I'm just so glad that she just like faced it head on. She moved on, and now she's pregnant.
Okay, she is pregnant?
You didn't know?
No.
Oh yeah, she announced it on today's episode of Just Trish.
Oh, okay. That because I saw the episode where she talked about like there was something big that she couldn't even tell Oscar or whatever.
That is the summary of the Rosanna Pansino drama.
I'm sure there will be more.
Oh yeah,
Because Tana has yet to respond.
I'm waiting for. I'm expecting her to come out swinging, but Tana kind of, at least in the last year, has done what I don't expect her to do. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, but I want her to come out swinging. Rosanna might not see our words, but I want to manifest those into Tana.
Yeah.
So that she can say our words and Rosanna can get a piece.